Amazing. You know, I feel like saying Happy New Year because I've been saying that throughout the week. How are you? Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us for hashtag The Morning Drift. It is a beautiful day now that it is Friday. Most of you who work 8 to 5 or who are entrepreneurs and your minds are blowing with business throughout since the year began, it is a beautiful day. Sanna it is, Kusereka Friday it is, and I have amazing artists. Umesikia kidogo hapo tumeenda TBT for a reason. And some of you are like, what is going on? Yes, what is going on is appreciating music from when it was music till now, its evolution to the music we have right now. Because it is Sanna Chat, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome you from back at home to be part of the conversation. Hashtag The Morning Drift. If you have any questions for either of my panelists today, feel free to start by their names and, of course, either your comments, your compliments, your questions, or your concerns when it comes to art and politics. Why art and politics? It is 2022. For a long time, I think 3 years ago, 4 years ago, Kenyans have been looking forward to 2022. They have been saying, come 2022, but now we're here. And Kenyans almost expect, when the campaigns begin, that an artist will not miss a particular campaign rally. Is it true? If it is, Kenyans, what do we expect this year from our artists? And for our artists who have joined politics, good morning. How is it going on the other side? Is art politics? Is politics art? Are they just intertwined? Are you also as curious as I am? Please join me on set with my guests today. I am very honored. Kenyans are looking forward to hearing your perspectives on art and politics. And as I said earlier on, Kenyans are expecting maybe Movie to be coming in with another party. And we do not know yet. But that is just to welcome you on set. Movie, it's good to have you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you very much.
You have a new song out.
I have a new song out. It's called Nakupenda.
And we are going to hear more about it.
And it's not Nakupenda Party of Kenya. It's just Nakupenda.
Oh, it's not Nakupenda Party of Kenya. As we start. And of course also Katana John, Katana John, HSC, he is the MCSK director, Coast Region leader. And of course, if you hear the mushroom music, you can, pick him somewhere. Thank you very much for joining us.
Asante sana.
Ni vizuri sana watu wa Mombasa wameona leo wamefika Look Up TV. Since we began the year, we are so glad that you have created time to honor the show.
Asante sana.
So people are curious, did you stop singing? Can we still feel a bit of, can we take you back to your younger days? Can you hum a song? Can we pass?
When you're a true musician, you don't stop singing. You take a break, but that thing is God-given, so you never stop. We've never stopped. We just took a break from recording, but we are back.
Oh yes,
yeah.
That's beautiful to know.
We have a new song which we recorded about, when I was in Uganda. It means thank you in Buganda. In Uganda, yeah.
Beautiful, and Movies already enjoying that. So there's a lot coming in 2022.
Definitely.
Oh yes.
Big time.
If you love music, big time 2022 is happening. So enjoy the show with us. Start tweeting, hashtag The Morning Drift. The conversation is just beginning. Art and politics. Kenyans are already, able to start saying this is what we're expecting in 2022.
Yeah.
But with art, we're asking ourselves, is art and politics even related? We will start with that, from that general perspective.
It's definitely related. You see,
anyone in art, you're a voice of opinion.
Okay.
If you look at a lot of artists, even on social media platforms, you'll see a public figure, public figure. So is a politician. All those are leaderships. You get? And then again, art is in the heart of every man here on earth. And if you notice in the word heart, katikati kuna art hapo. Kwa art iko hapo. So art is an instrument of leadership and a voice, a powerful voice. So yes, they are related. They are leaderships. They are all in a sense in the form of art, but it's leadership.
All right.
You're a voice of the society in one aspect or another.
All right.
Yes.
You have your own sentiments on the same. Please start us off with your sentiments on the art and politics relation.
Well, I would say art is everything. In that, in the beginning, there was art. In the end, the trumpet will play. That's art. And what politicians or politics and art, the confluence, point of confluence,
Yes.
is that without art, politicians won't function
Okay.
in a way. All right. Why ask me so? Look at any rally today without
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
They will hardly get a crowd.
Okay.
So that's the point of confluence.
All right.
Yeah.
Without any rally, actually, we've not seen any rallies without music.
You cannot have a rally without music.
Interesting. So that is in fact a direct relationship.
Yeah.
I'll read something shortly here.
Right.
At the end of some studies that were made, it was determined that art contributes politics. Art contributes, actually does contribute politics in different areas such as critical thinking, aesthetic, directing societies, providing peace and order. Also, it was determined, therefore, that artists, of course, artists should have a say in politics. But artists gone into politics cannot act as an artist as they before did. I want to touch on the aspect of artists into politics. When there were artists, they played a part in politics, like, when there were artists in politics, like you have said, performance, and you do not have a rally without an artist. When they cross over, however, we are told they cannot play the same role. We want to start with you, Mr. Katana. What are your sentiments on that? What changes? Because if art and politics are related, what changes when they cross over?
One thing changes fundamentally. When you're on the other side of the divide, you're a pure artist, nothing to do with politics.
All right.
You have wider eyes. You look at the society and you see so many things from different perspectives, which you can express through your music. Once you become a politician, it's all streamlined, like you have blinds like a horse, and you just look at what you want to do. You're not looking at the entire, broader society.
Okay.
We are the mirror. As an artist, you're the mirror of the society. But as a politician, that's something else.
All right.
And that's why you stop getting those ideas that you used to get. For example, if you rode a matatu,
Oh, yes.
ujamaa dema na perfume nzuri, ama ujamaa na kidevu kama mbuvi, it gives you a title to a song, an idea to a song.
Yes.
Katika politics, umesimama katika podium and you're looking at just the end result.
Yes.
Yeah? It's all planned, policies, and the end result.
So I think so what you're trying to say is being an artist gives you more room, therefore, to interact with society.
Exactly.
There is something about mindset and political change, and I want to hear from you, Mbuvi. You're very powerful in your performances.
Thank you.
How then can an artist, even during this period, because citizens love you, your icons, they almost, quote unquote, worship you. How can artists watching this morning understand how much power they have for positive change during this political season?
Yeah, I think the first thing you need to know, you're the voice of society. You're the voice that gives direction to society. You take a message and put it in an art form. We were just discussing earlier on, we were talking with him.
Yes.
And we were saying, an artist is a person who can take a 3-hour lecture. Somebody wanted to give a 3-hour lecture, and in 3 minutes pass that message perfectly danceable, and people are repeating it word for word.
Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, I want to use Maningo as an example. He did this song Ugali Sasa Ukitafuta Ufalme wa Mungu. When he did the song, it's about 3-4 minutes. Bishop Oginde rose and said, this guy, that's phenomenal. He just transformed my 2-hour sermon
All right.
into 3 minutes. Na hakuna kitu ya kuongezea. It's perfect. It's soft. It is anyone can consume, from a mtoi to an elderly person. The message has passed through. So art, that's one power that artists need to know that they have. So that even by the time people are approaching you in terms of politics to do something, you probably are a bigger voice. And like he says, when you get into a certain divide, this or that divide, you limit how much your voice can speak. There are people who automatically not listen to you, and you're a voice of society. You bring peace, like he said. You bring people together, everyone. It doesn't matter where they're coming from. You sing, they come together. They sing and dance and make peace. The moment you go to a different party, unless your calling is politics, maybe ulianzia muziki, kumbe your calling was politics. That's different. But if you are an artist, you're a bigger you have a bigger word, you have a bigger say.
Okay.
Let me just give one more statement. There's an artist, I won't say their name.
All right.
They were hired to sing. Then they just thought ni kazi tu. Akalipwa akamaliza. Kuimba, the politician didn't win. The politician went back and told the artist, give me back my money.
Wow.
Which means the politician telling them, kumbe wewe ndio ulikuwa na watu. Nilikuwa nakulipa si uimbe uniletea hawa watu wako. Huko niletea. So we need to think you have a bigger mass and a bigger voice. An educative voice that can transform people's mindsets into where they need to go as a society.
Amazing. And I think this perspective is picked up by the artists watching this morning. You want to add on that?
Yeah,
yes.
A very naive statement I'll make here. People will pay to see an artist. People won't pay to go and watch a politician.
That's
you get
for sure.
it?
That's for sure. That's down in record. That is what we have seen. That is very powerful.
Yeah.
And I would just reiterate, people will pay to see and watch an artist, but they will not pay to go and see a politician.
Yeah.
Let me know what your feedback is. We're live on Facebook. We're streaming live. It is Look Up TV. I'm about to go in and just check your questions and your concerns and your comments right there on the comment section. Katana, you have been in the industry for years and you are still beating the test of time. We honor you for that. Now, having lived through those years to today, I would ask you, and also in the position you hold with the MCSK, at what point, according to you, from where you sit, do you feel the music industry in this country is currently?
Well, it's at a very crucial point where I would say this is the take-off point. The world is waiting for Kenyan music. The world is waiting for Kenyan artists. So it's at that point, we've come a long way. Something needs to be done for that flip to take place, So that's where we are at, musically speaking.
When you say something needs to be done, that flip.
Yeah.
A lot of Kenyans are saying, a lot of artists are saying, some of us are trying to be, to come out to the light. Some of us are probably the pool you're talking about. Can we be able, with your wisdom, to just borrow what that flip could be? Maybe it's right here, but the artists are not able to see it from where they sit. Is it something the artists can pick before it's too late?
Yeah.
Yes.
But, the artists are doing their level best at the moment. We have such good music in Kenya, but then that flip has got to come from somewhere else.
Okay. Okay.
And allow me to take you down this road. When we talk about music in Nigeria, 90% of what is aired in Nigeria is local. Let's cross over to Tanzania. 80 to 85% of what they're doing, takes the air broadcast is Tanzanian. All right. South Africa likewise. Kenya, like the biggest economy in Eastern Central, is at 15%. Kenyan music gets about just 15% airplay. So we're actually killing music and musicians. And yet the law says it's got to be 60% in favor of Kenyan music and 40, but now we're doing 15% Kenyan music. How do you expect all these upcoming musicians to grow? They can't, the music is not being played, is not being aired. So charity begins at home. Wow. We should have, adhered to the Constitution, at least 60%, and we will see a very big difference. Because as we talk now, when we play foreign music, it means we have to take these royalties.
Thank you.
We're exporting money to foreign countries, foreign musicians. Let it be 80 or 70% Kenyan music, and musicians will start having good money in their pockets. They will be able to produce and
better quality, better music.
So the whole ecosystem has to be cleaned up somehow. It will take recognition from the government and enforcement of the Constitution. That provision in the Constitution, or in the not really in the Constitution, but the Information and Communications Act.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that you also let the artists know that there's a lot to read. most of the upcoming artists might not really know that they have some rights and the things that they need to read. So I'm so glad from your experience that you've been able to, of course, bring that to the table. I heard you really agree with Katana, and I just want to also hear your sentiments that, and I would ask this again, where we're standing as music and as art, are the artists, you know, able to sustain their livelihoods? You know, you've said we need to do more, but I want to hear it from you as an artist as well, from your own point of view.
Currently, not as many. Now that as long as you have only 15% music being played, majority of the artists will probably not get there, and that's why you're probably seeing artists cross over to something else. Did I have a following at some point, a big following? Then let me transform that and get into politics. Maybe that will give me some money.
Oh, that's the idea behind
it. Politics or politics? Not all of them, but that's also could feature as an idea. You'll find a very good singer who's a farmer now. Why? Music isn't making the prima donna thing. It would have been music. Jamaa kwa kwa shamba analima, kale katina na chapa unashangaa, why are you not in the studio? Unasikia tu, you know, I tried and I release, but itachezwa wapi? You see, at the end of the day. So now, if now we concentrated on our local stuff, even the quality that we are doing, like he's saying, would improve. Why? I can afford the best producer. I can afford the best videographer. I can dress the part. You get? And even when I'm doing my show has the wax is pulling crowd. The moment it's pulling crowd, even brand, what are they called? Even corporates are on my case. Sign up, do blah, 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 blah. Now, the moment there's not enough money in the industry, what happens? Even the royalty earners, he can tell you. Number one royalty earner in Kenya is not even a Kenyan. Number two is not even a Kenyan. So basically, we are saying, like he's saying, we have this airspace, but kujeni mchukue, kujeni munyonye, yani tunanyonywa. There's a place in Uganda called Munyonyo. Tunanyonywa kunyonyo. So I agree with him. Yeah.
And I want to challenge Katana this morning. When you talk about artists not having enough in their pockets, there's a time we said play Kenyan music. There's a time we had a lot of uproar on social media about how much, you know, Kenyan artists get. And maybe you need to clarify this again as we start 2022 for all the Kenyans that did not get the information last year and the years before about how MCSK handles artists. They're watching, and you've said when they don't have enough money in the pocket, they cross over to other things. We never know if that could be also an inspiration to politics, but I don't know what you have to say just to make some clarifications on the membership.
Okay, first and foremost, many are the times that people would talk about MCSK and say they're not paying Kenyan musicians. We don't cater for all Kenyan musicians. MCSK caters for its members only. Point number one. Point number two, for a musician, a member, to receive royalties. We have two types of royalties. We have the number one, which we call the general distribution. This is a certain percentage that is taken and divided and paid out across board all members. So each member gets equally. It doesn't matter whether you're a celebrity or you're a musician down in the village. As long as you're a member, you'll get the same amount. Royalty number two is scientific or broadcast. Now this is based on airplay. All right. How much your music is being used commercially, especially on radio and TV. Now this is where the problem is. Most musicians who are members of MCSK would release music and then give it to one or two radio stations and then sit and wait. Hey, my song played on this song. And then the next day they get peanuts from MCSK. They will come and say, these guys are thieves. Kenya has about 270 broadcasting companies. Let's say, naively, 270 radio stations and TV stations. So if your music plays on only two radio stations that you tune into because you know the DJ or the presenter and you expect to earn millions, you're kidding yourself. You have to push your music onto these radio stations, get it played so many times that it generates the royalties for you.
Amazing.
Number one. Number two, you have to register your music every time you release a new song and you put it out in the market, you have to register it with the MCSK so that it's fed into the system. So, and when the monitoring is done,
All right.
it can be recognized and generate revenues for you, royalties for you. But most members, what do? They would release, there's a case, I won't mention the artist.
All right.
He went in, all over the media last year and said, I have these many albums, my music is playing all over the radio stations, and that was true, but I'm being paid peanuts by MCSK. So we went in and checked everything, and we got printouts and everything. Out of the 30 or so albums
Yes.
he had released, he had only registered 15 songs.
All right.
Out of 30
All right.
albums,
Yeah.
15.
So that's half
30
of it.
albums.
That's not half of it.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
30 albums, each album could have 10 songs.
Yeah.
But that's
So that's like about 300 songs, only 15.
Who are
only
registered.
15
Yeah.
Yes,
songs.
out of
Yeah, so
300.
he's been earning
Approximately.
from 15 songs, but in his mind he was expecting to be earning from
a
300
myriad of songs,
or
yes.
say 200 songs. So that's where artists lose money. They're not paid well when it comes to the scientific distribution,
Okay.
but because they don't know, then they go and they come to you and say, jamaa bwana wanatugonga sana.
And I like when you mentioned science, because at some point, some research has also brought it out that politics is also scientific.
Yep.
And now that we bring in the aspect of the scientific distribution, I think artists are getting to learn that music is not just as simple as we all see it when we see Kata Hawaya.
No.
There is a scientific aspect of it, even in the distribution.
And you're paid for
yes.
the commercial exploitation of your music.
All right.
But it's got to be registered. If you have if you don't have an ID, it's difficult for you to access some services, because you go there, they punch in your name. You're not a member of this society called Kenya,
Yes. Okay.
If you have an ID number, you go to eCitizen.
All right.
In fact, that's what you
Your ID is usually those whatever.
you see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because you have that ID number, you're recognized by the government and you can access all their services, but you don't have that music registered at MCSK, it's playing on radio, then it's not recognized by the monitoring system. You won't get your money.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think the artists watching this morning, it's very, very important, and even if you're upcoming, to understand what we're talking about right here on Sanna Chat, it is therefore important to get this information. Of course, register your music, follow up, push your music, distribute it, and I am so glad that there is some light being shed this morning on that aspect. So even the Kenyans watching back at home understand how it works for and with the artists. Now there's an aspect that we're just going to come back again to the political, season and aspect. And there's a relationship between art and power. So strong that for some reason sometimes we're not sure, because influencers, now social media is taking center stage. The digitalization is really strong, globally. And we're seeing that, we're feeling that power from art. I just want to understand, from your perspective, as an artist, what you understand from this art-power relationship and how it actually can be used, either negatively, but mostly positively, even as we are, gearing the general elections. Yes.
Art is power. Art is power.
Very powerful.
And very powerful. Probably more powerful than that politics. I said politics. Probably more powerful than politics. Art influences and moves societies. With a single song, I can make a society think in a certain way.
Yes.
Just because somebody went to the studio and said, Sipangwimbi, the language has changed. Totally. That is power. Back up a politician, I won't name, uses it anytime right now, and I think they're working with the guy. So that is a simple way to show you how powerful art is.
Right.
A whole society, anything kakitu kana trend.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
like you're saying, it's scientific. Imepangwa vile ita trend vile itaenda. There are some that are God funguas and it just goes. So that is power that gives you access to masses and speak to masses. That is why the moment you release a song and it's a big song, a brand comes looking for you, because they want that mass and that power that music carries. You've just sang this. So any brand be it corporate or a political brand, is a brand that will not use that power that art has.
Amazing.
Why? Because it's even much more powerful than probably what they do.
And I want to talk to Mr. Katana about power. Having to stand the test of time. The song we played coming in was about family. You know, mke singuo, mtoto singuo. Because the unit, family unit, for some reason, in the African, you know, heritage is very powerful. In our current generation, there has been an aspect of content, lyrics, and you've mentioned how powerful art is. I want to hear from your experience, from your, you know, your years in music, what your comments are on the current music we produce and what power it has in molding this next Kenyan who is voting come August or 5 years to come.
Well, there's a lot of power in it, both positive and negative.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I'll give an example. Uhuru Ruto, Tano Tena. 3 minutes of that, and look at the way it, you know. So that's the positive power, and then the negative power is when we as artists, so let's say the younger generation, go the other way, and they come up with lyrics that only their peers can, you know, digest, and even their own parents wouldn't listen to their songs. That's where the problem is. Both powerful, because this negative, the flip side of the coin is the negative side, but it still influences that generation. So that's where the power is. And I want to narrow down. I won't talk about artists.
Yes.
I want to talk about music and musicians. Music and musicians is the only form of art that has that kind of power.
All right.
You know, a painting will be hung somewhere. Somebody in Lodwar won't see a painting at the village market. But somebody in Lodwar can listen to a song that was recorded in Lamu.
And in whatever language.
Yeah, in whatever
Oh yes, in
You
whatever
see,
language.
Doesn't matter
That's
what
the
the
power.
language is.
That's the power that moves this world.
Yeah.
If I may add something.
Yes, please.
Imagine a day you wake up, your favorite station didn't play that signature tune. Your favorite product was not advertised with that music jingle.
Yes.
Your favorite product on TV didn't have that music backup, you know. What
Your
kind
show
of-
didn't have the jingle it starts with.
Yeah.
Signature tune.
You see,
Yes.
so there's power in music.
Yeah.
And it's all over just because it's like oxygen in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. We breathe in this oxygen given to us by God.
Yeah.
Go and buy that one, ile mwanadamu, that cylinder there. It ends, but it's so expensive.
Yes.
And music, I equate music to oxygen.
Oh,
like that.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
You equate music to oxygen.
Yeah.
Please let me know your sentiments. These are very powerful, you know, sentiments we have today on set on art. And if you're following, just let me know what you have to say. I'm seeing feedback here. Allow me to acknowledge them and, of course, wish them a happy new year. James Kinyua saying, amazing host, thank you, amazing guests. My uncle is a major fan of mushrooms.
Yoga.
Asante.
Mmemjengea siku leo.
Oh, wow.
All right, amazing. If your uncle does have a request, it's a new year. Who knows if it's only on Look Up TV
You
that
know?
Katana might, you know, decide to.
The
sing a
music is
special
here, all of
version.
it.
We don't know yet, but we will figure out at the end of this conversation if he will surprise us.
We'll do our next launch here.
Oh, amazing. Thank you, sir. Amazing. We're looking forward to that. And of course, Nelly Andrews says, valid points being raised this morning. It's evident that politicians have used music time and again as a way of attracting audience. Therefore, these politicians should be able to formulate and pass better laws that ensure betterment of these particular artists. I would wish to hear you comment on what she has just said.
Okay.
Yes.
We were talking about that just now. I think those are pertinent issues that we have. It's true. They should probably enforce whatever laws are there. But then again, if they do that, we're talking about that, the kind of power music has.
Yes.
The moment our pockets are full, then we are able to independently transform the society, educate the society.
Oh, okay.
Once we educate that society, 5 years from now, people will not be able to take advantage of the poverty in the society and give them handouts and then win elections. So it is not of their interest to better our lives per se, but it's of their interests to take advantage of the power of music that we have every 5 years. For example, if between 2017 and 2022 my pockets were full and I'm loaded, by the time you're calling me and have a nice song that you can use for your politics to give me some little money to, okay, let's say not little, some money to run your campaign with my song, you get?
Yes.
I'll be like, no. What are your principles? I'll sit down and say, why am I working? Why should I work with you?
All right.
You get?
Yes.
Because now we're on an even table. It's not even about the money anymore. Because I'm loaded now, you're loaded now. So it's not about the money. It's not about removing me from a poverty area. Because I'll look at, hey, ngoma, inaweza ni change your life. I can have a better house. I can have a car. I have those things. You get?
Yes.
So now, why do you want me to sing this song? We will be able to be in a place to engage.
To negotiate.
So it may not, it's the right thing to do, empower the artist, but it may not be the right thing for you as a selfish political person per se.
So what we are hearing here is just clearly the politicians do not have the goodwill as it stands right now to better the artist's life and welfare for selfish reasons.
Generally, yes.
Generally, yes. I want to appreciate this morning in a very special way, 2022, a great artist. I was younger a few years ago. We all were younger. And Eric Wainaina.
Everyone was, yes.
Did an amazing song. And because you're artists and we are appreciating art, I'm going to do something that was not foreseen by anyone, including myself. Engage us all, because it's an electioneering period, and this song had a great turnaround for Kenya after the violence. I don't know if my guests know the song I am saying. We will start with Mbuvi at the center, because for some reason he's at the center. And it's Friday, the first Friday on the Morning Drift. So we will see who does better. This is just a challenge for fun. I know you didn't expect this, but this is how the Morning Drift is. We drift from the normal.
Trouble early in the year. Trouble early in the year. Early in the year.
So Mbuvi, you're going to start us off with whichever line you pick, whichever stanza you pick for this particular song, because it was award-winning. Kids sang it. Janitors would sing it. Touts would sing it. I sang it. Teachers were singing it. For some reason, it was almost the national anthem. A great shout out to Eric Wainaina.
Yeah.
So let's hear whichever stanza you pick, and then we will go to
stanza or line.
Whichever line,
okay,
stanza.
Good.
If you ever pick the whole song as well. Let's do this.
Daima mimi Mkenya, mwananchi mzalendo.
That's the easiest.
I know, right?
He's done it
It's
for
a
me.
crack.
He's done it for me.
It's a crux of that song.
I can't believe the veteran in the room.
He's done it for me. You know why? Because that's the part that comes to your mind immediately.
That's the most
all right.
powerful part.
And another thing.
Yes.
And this is on a lighter note.
Yes.
I talk copyright.
Oh.
I talk copyright. So Eric.
See you later.
Eric, my buddy. My buddy.
And I like that moment of smartness because we just had, you had the two angles where he just let him sing first. I'm wondering what would happen if I asked Katana to start.
I would have,
He would have refused actually.
No, he'd have sung.
He would have sung?
He'd have sung.
Can I ask you to challenge him to sing?
The same song?
Yes, the same song, absolutely.
Let me challenge him on another one that is also political by Eric Wainaina still.
All right, another great shout out. Challenge him. This is Friday.
This one is, but Eric, don't sue me for this.
Don't sue.
Nchi ya kitu kidogo, ni nchi ya watu wadogo.
Ukitaka chai ewe ndugu, nunua ketepa. Oh, you need brand placement.
And now I will.
That's why I say every time we're doing these things, we have to be very careful.
And I like that we're doing this on, local media, because media personalities and media houses are also very keen on that. We're actually also really glad to hear from the expertise on how careful we should be, and that's also some power we have in the media, because media is art as well.
And now that we're speaking about Eric, sorry, let me jump in and say something small. And Eric will confirm once you get this.
And Eric should come to the show very
He needs
soon.
to come. I hear right around the time he was about to release Nchi ya Kitu Kidogo, he was called into, before he released it, he was called into State House by H.E. Daniel Arap Moi, teacher.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah, and he wanted to honor him and appreciate him for that. The Imam Kenya, initially it was in English, all of it. Somehow I think my head has refused to remember the lyrics for English. So the president wanted to honor him, but Eric knew he was going to sing about Nchi ya Kitu Kidogo and it was educative, and he said no.
All right.
He said no.
Okay.
That is you knowing your power as an artist, because the moment, it could be innocent, I want to pay you, but I could look like I've taken a camp.
Okay.
And I have a master that is listening to my message, so I wouldn't look like I'm shifting sides.
That's very, very insightful. Thank you for bringing that up, and we can pick from examples. Allow me to appreciate Mr. Ken Eugene Anangwe, who's watching this morning, saying powerful conversation. And there again, another word, power.
Yeah.
When artists come together to discuss things like this, they are powerful conversations, and we're hoping we're creating impact and changing mindsets this morning. David Kase says, watching the show, it's amazing. I can't wait to listen to Embedodo by Them Mushrooms. Those guys are legends. Kudos. Look up TV now. Ulize Mbuvi 2027 atakuwa kwa ballot ama vile anaongea.
Me no politics, zero. I know my calling. I'm happy in my calling. I'll still be singing like you said.
Okay. How about the other wish for somebody in 2022, now that you're honored to host Katana himself? How do we make this young man happy today, because he's really looking forward to listening to Embedodo by Mushrooms, by the entire
On a
team?
very light note, come to our show.
Good one.
You know what?
I like this.
Yeah, here's the thing. I do music for a living. So when you tell me to do that, it's like telling a Coca-Cola vendor, nipatie Coca-Cola ya bure.
Yes.
You get? That's how much I respect music. We shouldn't be giving it out for free. People should be paying. We're here for the interview, not to sing.
Yeah.
In fact, I broke my rules when I sang Nchi ya Kitu Kidogo.
Thank you.
We should be paid for, our music.
All right.
So I love you, my brother is David.
Yes.
King David. I baptize you King David today. I love you so much. But watch social media. Ukisikia kuna show ya The Mushrooms, come, and I'll make sure we sing that song for you.
Isn't that a beautiful way to start 2022, David? Happy New Year. Look out for the social media platforms, which of course, just look up our movie and the Mushrooms. You will be able to know what's coming up, because that's the power of social media as well. I want to close this conversation, but I want to have a moment to shine. If you hear a veteran, and of course head of AMC SK say, I broke my rule on your show, and I sang a song, that's the power of art. I was powerful for a second. Thank you very much for gracing the show. Now in 2022, as we close, your last remarks, what do you expect from the artists during the political season? In your own words, a minute or two as we close. I will start with you, Mr. Katana, and that camera there for emphasis. Personally, this is your word to the artists during this period.
I will talk to musicians. When you talk about artists, it's the whole lot of them. I'm going to talk about musicians. This is your time to make money. Politicians need you. Your value should be what you take to them. Charge them for every single piece of music they want you to do for them. And then another thing, this might sound controversial, but here it is. As musicians, we belong to no party, we belong to nobody. Sisi ni utumishi kwa wote kama polisi. The police serve the opposition, the police serve, you know, the government, they serve everybody during the campaign period. So we should be like that, because at the end of the day, when you go to the ballot box,
yes,
siri ni yako wewe, you'll vote for candidate A or B, but outside there, if candidate A wants you to make a song for them, make a song for them, produce a song for them, charge them. If candidate B, because here's the thing, they all brush their teeth with a toothpaste in the morning. Nobody tells them, oh, kwa nini ulitumia toothpaste? So nobody should say, why did you record a song for this? That's your bread and butter. Period.
Thank you. I would not wish to say anything after that. Just come to you, moving. What are your last words?
Simple. All that he said he said everything. But just remember, your voice is your endorsement. So make sure whoever you're singing for, you're endorsing somebody who makes sense. You've seen them do something. See at Nita. There's a song I did and I was saying, mtu ukiangalia history yake, hata kama si political, kwake amesaidia nani, kwao kumeimprove aje, family life yake iko aje. So akiingia hapo with little, can he be added more to do much more?
With little, if he is added, can he do more? Thank you very much for your time. Kenyans have learned so much. I have learned so much. And on the Sanna chart, I must say, this Friday, we have actually met one of our greatest objectives. Thank you. I want us to go because we've been speaking and we've been saying kwa ground. Vitu fanyika 1, 2, 3. Sasa hebu tusikie pale kwa ground, mtaa yenye kasea Mario nalienda juzi jana. Kulikuwa vipi? Ladies and gentlemen, this is #TheMorningDrift, and now let's enjoy your voice. Kwa ground.